Hey, hope you can join us this week as I get on a few lucky days before winter takes a grip. Positioning myself near slight drop-off by shore is the ideal location to spin cast at this time for nice rainbows. Using a couple of reliable presentations, I'm able to keep the weather at my back and get some productive time in. Stay tuned.
Scott Brothers Fishing Adventures is sponsored in part by Abu Garcia for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. Fenwick, feel the action. Gibbs, quality Canadian tackle since 1908. Shimano, technology you can feel. Storm Lures, take the big ones by storm. Home Hardware, we're making smiles. Osprey, waders and float tubes. Sage, the world's premium fly rod. Scientific Anglers, focused on function. Normark, the tradition continues. Sports Max, the fastest house on the ice. Blue Fox, fish smart. Rapella, the original Finnish minnow. Need Enterprises, your recreation specialists. Gamakatsu, the world's finest hooks.
In this show, I'm out on a couple of different days despite the presence of Old Man Winter. You know, when you're an avid fisherman, the call of open water constantly beckons, especially when the local gab is they're really biting. So, with a little bit of luck and timing, I attempt to capitalize before the blanket of winter falls. Oh, yeah, there's a good hit. Ooh, yes. Tighten up. Well, hey, the lake's almost frozen. It's 36-degree water temperature, and I'm looking for some rainbows in some shallow flats. Oh, boy. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, look at that. Nice doe. Oh, boy, she's healthy. Looks good. Oh, nice and fat. Boy, look at the size of that rainbow, folks. Isn't that a gorgeous fish? Okay, there she is. Oh, man. Look at her. Ooh. Boy, now, she's an active fish this time of season. Well, like springtime, folks, the rainbows, they're very active in spring, of course, is when the rainbows spawn. And also, if you can get into a situation where, like this year, we've had a very warm winter beginning, and so the rainbows are really active. I just wonder if I could just cradle her just so gently. Oh, boy, she's just a mess. That guy, out of control. Big fish. Beautiful doe. This is the kind of fish you would like to have if you were going to take a picture with it. That's a good one. That is a trophy fish in most people's eyes. Look at her, eh? Ooh. And again, my absolute standby combination, Panther Martin, yellow body, red dots, Lure Jensen, oh, there goes the hook, and she's out. Oh, there she goes. All right, well, we didn't get a chance to see her, but whew, what a nice fish that was. Well, hey, you know, barbless hooks, no damage to the fish. They come off real easy. Oh, another good one. Look at that. beautiful. Oh yeah. Boy, it doesn't take long. Oh, another nice fish too, eh? You know, and that's simply the best time to get some of these more active fish is when the water cools right off. Because in a lake like this today, this lake is generally a shallow lake. It's about 30 feet deep at the most, the deepest point. And in the summertime it would shut right off. Whereas today it's a lot cooler, so the fish are a lot more prone to hit with water temperatures that are cooled off. The ice is ready to come on. So the fish are more active and ready to feed. That's a nice rainbow too. Oh, she's just gorgeous. Looks like another doe again. A couple of spinners we're using today is the Blue Fox number 3, fluorescent body, very productive lure, my wife's favorite lure. And again my Panther Martin number 9, which is a little bit heavier, 3/8 size, yellow body, red dot, silver blade, very, very productive lure. Panther Martin now has just come out with a newer style blade for the new millennium. It's a double-bladed Panther Martin. If you were going to work with a number 9 size, then you'd have like a number 6 blade on the top, 9 blade in the bottom, so that would double your action. And we have yet to actually test that out today, but we will give it a try later on. Okay, I think I can just about get that fish in. Another nice rainbow. Then we need to hold this one now. Okay. Oh boy, isn't that beautiful rainbow? Another really, really healthy fish. And again, that will be classified as really a trophy fish. That's a blackwater strain in the area I'm fishing right now because the adipose fin has been cut. We'll get her right back there. And, whew, man. Sure enough. Oh yeah, she's not going to wait around. Man, that water is cold. Holy smokes. Get me a towel here. Okay. And the sun's coming out. I had snow about 10 minutes ago. And I know on this lake that if you could actually get some snowfall, or even a little bit of snow that's already fallen on the ground, the lake's still open, fishing is unreal. Well, let's do it again. Nothing like having wildlife and birds, and had an otter pass the boat a little while ago. And there's eagles around. The Canada geese don't know for sure which way to go right now. Because this is the middle of November, folks, 1999. Generally, we should be preparing the ice fishing augers, the huts, the gear, looking towards that ice fishing season, which we do a lot of too. But this is just great. You'd almost wish that, gee, I doesn't ever get Christmas. Just hope we could keep fishing out here right till spring. That would be neat. So I'm in 11 feet of water right now. And there's a lot of active fish. There's one there at 2 feet, just cruising under the boat. And what I'm doing, I've found a shelf where the water makes a definite drop off from say 10 to 13 feet. It's almost insignificant for most lakes, but this lake, that is quite significant. And that seems to be a good holding point for the fish. Let's have a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. Hey, welcome back to Scud Brothers Fishing Adventures. We're fishing today, middle of November. If you can believe this weather, the water is 37 degrees. That's only a few degrees from basically freezing, but the fishing is just great. No snow yet. Hopefully we can get through this show before it happens. I'm using this week, folks, my Panther Martin number 9, silver blade, yellow body, red dots. I've also got the added attractant of the Lure Jensen single salmon egg, and that really helps for the scent. I like to keep 2 rods handy when I'm fishing in this situation, because if I find that one lure is not productive, I can just grab the other rod right off the bat. Here I have my wife's favorite lure. That's the Blue Fox number 3 fluorescent bell. A very productive lure, especially when the trout and rainbows do quite often go after the red lure, and that is a very productive lure. This one is also can be trolled or spinned a little bit faster than my Panther Martin because, as you know, my stall speed in the Panther Martin is just a very slow retrieve, really productive. And you find if you see a rising fish, if it doesn't produce, you switch lures, and a lot of times the second presentation works real well. So let's get right back out there, and we'll see if I can bang into another fish right here. I'm trying to fish a shelf area of between 10 and 12 feet, which in this particular lake is a shelf because the lake is actually quite shallow. And I find that I'm sitting in an area where now I'm drifting by with the wind just very slightly. And man, it's putting me in some very good zones. And every once in a while I'll start the motor up, I'll keep back in because, you know, as you drift down, you have a tendency to drift out. So trying to keep on that line is very important. So what I'll do right now is I'll position myself a little bit closer to shore. Just have to find the drop off on the sounder here. Little bottom line side hunters are just a cat's meow. So quick situations where all you want to do is see the bottom. There we are. Now I got a nice line, it's like an imaginary line right here. And you can see my structure now changes from like a little bit weeds closer to shore, then you get into like a sandy bottom. That's where these fish are sitting. Oh yes, nice fish. Another nice doe. We haven't seen any bucks at all this show. Okay. Got lots of steam. Okay. Oh, that's a nice looking fish. Right? These are such prime looking trout at this time of the year. And you know, it's if you don't get to see trout this big, you can really appreciate the beauty, the firmness, the colors. This is quite a good looking fish. And again, in anybody's book, excellent rainbow trout fishing. Okay. This is a natural fish from this lake too. Oh yeah, she's nice. Nice one comes out easy there. Right, there she is. Boy, is she ever nice. Go back. Whew, not gonna wait around for nothing. Right on. Okay, well, our weather has changed a bit. Our sun's gone. We've got a front coming in. And fishing is a little bit slower, but still productive. Let's get back out and see what else we can do there. Don't go away, because there's more winter rainbows after this. Get into a fish. I'm just going to get up here so I can get a bit better view. See what we got here. He's not fighting real hard, but you know, when the weather gets a little bit cooler, the fish are spunkier, but sometimes the larger ones don't fight as long or as hard as they would in prime season. I haven't got to see him yet, but he's in here. Oh yeah. Okay, well, he's getting closer there now. He looks like a decent 3, a nice chrome fish, maybe 4. Oh yeah, nice fish. Oh, that could be a 4. There he is. Oh yeah, beautiful rainbow. I had my fly rod just kind of waiting because in in the shallows is a good place to cast for some of these larger rainbows. That's a nice fish. You know, folks, I can't stress how much with these panther martins it is that everywhere I go, I take these spinners and they just catch phenomenal fish. Look at that rainbow. Class 1 rainbow. Beautiful. Okay. Down. Ooh. Okay. There's the hook. And there's the fish. So I get it turned around. Nice and easy. Okay. Oh, that is a really nice rainbow. Just get her back. Oh, that was really nice. Nice job. Oh, boy. Didn't even wait to say goodbye. Well, as you can see, we've come off the water because, like I did mention, it's the middle of November and it's pretty cool out there. Nice to come back and enjoy the fire. I thought we'd take this opportunity to show you viewers a couple of little pointers. First of all, a lot of the spinners that we do use do come with treble hooks. One thing about that is you like to get into the single hook because that's the way the world of fishing is going, at least sport fishing. First of all, what we would do with our panther martin is we would simply cut the hook. Now once the hook has been cut, this is what you're going to end up with. Now what you do is you take your pair of pliers, needle nose preferably, hold the bottom part of the lure and slide the body up the shaft. That will expose the wire. Take your pliers, put it in the middle of the wire, and pop one of those wires to the outside of the spinner. Now, as you know, all fishermen have their preferences on what hook that you might want to put on your application. We particularly like the Gamakatsu hooks, the octopus style from Normark. That is a superior hook. It's a Japanese name that means sticky sharpness, and let me tell you folks, they really are. We're using a 4/0 today, and I just simply put the hook over the wire, and there you have it. Now we'll place the wire like I did back into the body of the lure, and here's the trickiest part. Use the pliers and grab the front part of the spinner. Gently and very carefully, I might add, pull the body of the lure down to meet the hook. This is the trickiest part of the operation because if you do make a slip, you're going to embed the hook in your finger. And that's what you end up with. Now the last step, we'll just simply pinch the barb, and that setup is complete. Don't forget, fishermen, regulations say in British Columbia, in any moving waters, rivers or streams, single barbless hook. That's the regulations. So whether you decide to barb your hook for lakes is totally up to you. Panther martin has also come out with a new lure, which may already be available to in some areas. It's the Panther Martin number 9 with 2 blades. The number 9 on the bottom, number 6 on top. That will double the sonic action that this lure has. So watch for that one on your tackle store shelves. Also, the Blue Fox is the lure that we're using today. This lure changes a little bit differently. It's a little bit simpler. We just simply cut the hook, and at this point here, we insert a very small split ring, and again, the Gamakatsu 4/0 hook, octopus style, slides on the split ring. Another great lure with an effective hook. Something else that we're using for an added attractant is a Lure Jensen single egg. These are very transparent and they have a very different scent. And of course, fish are attracted to the scent and the looks of the lure. So we always have that to go on that single hook as the extra bonus. Crankbaits are another thing that we use a lot of. And this is the Storm Lures Hottentot, the very small size. It has a little bit larger split ring. And we have again the Gamakatsu number 5/0 hook on the end of that. The larger crankbaits, we incorporate a barrel swivel between the hook and the body, so when you get a fish hook up, when it rolls, the hook is not so prone to come out because of its binding and twisting. The barrel swivel will save you a lot on the larger hooks. Something that I use all the time spin casting too on my reels is the Berkley Advanced Photochromic line. The line has increased tensile and knot strength, and it's one of the strongest of the trilenes. It's incredibly smooth for longer and more accurate casts, and it has maximum underwater visibility with either fluorescent or the photochromic. Well, I've had my coffee, I've enjoyed the fire. I think it's time to get right back out there after some more rainbows. Hey, before it starts to snow. Here's what's in store on the next Scud Brothers Fishing Adventures. Next week, I'm fishing some real cool days on the Kitimat River. I'll be shoulder to shoulder with a great fishing pal, Ron Wakita from City Center Hardware in Kitimat. We hit some cold weather conditions on our 2-day outing, but still managed to bring in the bacon. Landing our fair share of beautiful steelhead also revealed some great photo opportunities. We'll share our tactics on dead drifting the river, and no one gets skunked on this trip. Awesome. Awesome fish. You ready?
I'm just going to lift her and then put her back in.
Okay, here we go. Tune in next week for more Scud Brothers Fishing Adventures.
Scud Brothers Fishing Adventures is sponsored in part by Abu Garcia for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. Fenwick, feel the action. Gibbs, quality Canadian tackle since 1908. Shimano, technology you can feel. Storm Lures, take the big ones by storm. Home Hardware, we're making smiles. Osprey, waders and float tubes. Sage, the world's premium fly rod. Scientific Anglers, focused on function. Normark, the tradition continues. Sports Max, the fastest house on the ice. Blue Fox, fish smart. Rapella, the original Finnish minnow. Need Enterprises, your recreation specialists. Gamakatsu, the world's finest hooks.
Well, as you can see, I didn't get a chance to close the show with open water. We expected winter was going to come. The ice is now on. Winter is obviously here. So I guess it's time to get out the fishing huts, the ice augers, and change our plan. Listen, fishermen, thanks for joining us this week. This is your playground. Let's respect it and keep it clean. We'll see you next time.
Beats the heck out of working, you bet.
You keep saying that.